Hello and welcome to Arirang News Break on this Tuesday, May 17th. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Kang. It's been hailed by critics as mesmerizing, extraordinary, and ferociously brilliant. And now Korean author Han Kang can add the ultimate endorsement to her novel, The Vegetarian, this year's Man Booker International Prize for Fiction. Han is the first Korean to ever win the prestigious award. We begin with Kim Mo-kyun this morning.
Korean novelist Han Kang and her translator Deborah Smith won the 2016 Man Booker International Prize for Han's novel The Vegetarian at a ceremony in London on Monday. The Vegetarian, which tells the story of a woman who wants to reject human brutality and stops eating meat, was one of 155 books submitted for this year's prize. Han beat world-renowned writers including Nobel laureate Orhan Pamuk and international bestseller Elena Ferrante. Han and Smith, who only began studying Korean 7 years ago, will share the $72,000 prize money. Through her book, Han said she wanted to raise questions and share her thoughts about being human.
When I was writing The Vegetarian, I wanted to question about being human. And I wanted to describe a woman who desperately didn't want to belong to human race any longer and desperately wanted to reject being human who commit such violence.
Smith says the book has something for everyone, regardless of where they are from.
It deserves a wider audience, also that it has the potential to reach that wider audience. It has universal appeal.
The Man Booker Prize, which has been around for more than 40 years, is considered one of the world's most distinguished literature prizes. Local experts expect the win to motivate Korean novelists to reach out to foreign readers and give a boost to the local publishing scene. Kim Mo-kyun, Arirang News.
South Korea and Japan are meeting for working-level talks in Tokyo today on the follow-up measures to their landmark wartime sexual slavery deal that was reached late last year. The two sides are expected to discuss the establishment of a foundation through which the Japanese government will compensate the remaining Korean victims. Seoul's foreign ministry said last week that a preparatory committee could be launched as early as this month. Tuesday's closed-door meeting in the Japanese capital will be led by the foreign ministry's Director General for Northeast Asian Affairs, Chung Byung-won, and his Japanese counterpart, Kimihiro Ishikane. The United States has issued yet another warning against traveling to North Korea, saying foreigners could end up being imprisoned for innocent actions. The warning, issued by the U.S. State Department on Monday, urges Americans in a stronger than usual tone to avoid traveling to North Korea due to serious risks of arrest and long-term detention for many possible reasons, including showing disrespect to the country's former and current leaders. It says foreign visitors can find themselves in hot water for merely taking photos and even for talking with the locals. It said that over the past decade, 14 Americans have been detained in the reclusive state, being questioned for weeks and being compelled to make public statements and take part in public trials. Washington issued similar warnings in April and November last year. A top official at the U.S. Federal Reserve says the case for raising rates at the Fed's next meeting in June is pretty strong. In an interview with the Washington Post, Jeffrey Lacker, president of the Federal Reserve of Richmond, pointed out that inflation is moving toward the Fed's target of 2%. Labor markets have improved, and the downside risks at the start of the year have dissipated. He also expressed concern that by not raising rates, the Fed might be falling behind the curve as the economy strengthens. Investors believe the Fed will stand pat on rates at next month's meeting, citing the slowdown in the broader global economy and the recent turmoil in financial markets. Korean owners of the Nissan SUV caught up in an emissions cheating scandal are reportedly preparing to take legal action against the Japanese auto giant. According to industry sources, local Nissan Qashqai owners are planning to file a class action lawsuit against Nissan Korea as well as local dealers. They're set to be seeking a full refund of the $25,000 to $32,000 purchase price. This comes a day after Korea's Environment Ministry accused Nissan of using a cheat device to manipulate emissions tests after launching a probe into 20 models of diesel cars sold in Korea. Nissan has denied the allegations. It insists that it has not and does not employ illegal defeat or cheat devices in any of its cars. More than 800 Nissan Qashqai have been sold in Korea from November to last week. Korea's largest ICT event, the World IT Show 2016, kicks off in Seoul today. Under the theme Connect Everything, more than 450 companies will take part this year to present their latest tech and products in the IT convergence sector. This includes everything from virtual reality, Internet of Things and smart cars to cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and big data. The 4-day event is hosted by the Ministry of Science, ICT, and Future Planning and is sponsored by the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy. And that does it for now. Thank you for watching. Keep it tuned to Arirang for more news coming up at noon.